Hey guys, welcome back to the Flesh and Blood video. So today I want to take a moment to kind of highlight a specific matchup. I've been playing a lot of Iyslander lately, and honestly the deck feels great. It's very powerful, it has a lot of play, and there's a lot of decision points to be made, and I really enjoy that about the deck. But I really want to highlight today Iyslander versus Dromai. Dromai is generally very favored in this matchup. I played an interesting game earlier today that I thought was worth sharing with everybody else. And kind of breaking down a little bit. So when I talk about Iyslander versus Dromai, Dromai is just favored. Just like Rake the Embers is so good. Thermai is so good. Like there are a lot of great cards that are just good. And honestly, Iyslander has a hard time dealing with the board presence. Waning Moon can only go upstairs to your face. It can't hit anything or interact with the board. So it does make it a little bit tougher. And it makes overall the matchup a lot more intricate and a lot more detailed. So this was a game I played earlier. Spoiler alert, I lost the game, but it was a really good game, and I felt like there were a lot of decision points to be made, and I felt like there was a lot of swing and tempo, and it was just a very solid fought back and forth game, so I really wanted to share it with you guys. So thanks for stopping by, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. We were sweating what was happening. Well, I do not think we will have the same fortune here. I will choose to go first. I am able to go first. Alright, so we're going to do Iron Rock Gauntlet, Tunic, Stormstriders, Hypo, Bust, Blizzard, and we took out Scoldings and 2 Brain Freezes, which honestly felt fine. I like taking out Scoldings here because we're not really ever getting them into a place to where like that 4 damage at the end of the turn is just a blowout or anything. Interesting take with Pursuit against Dromai. Yeah, so that was something that the team that I'm a part of actually came up with when we were talking about how to beat Dromai and what a good solution might be. And so I've been testing Pursuit of Knowledge quite a bit here recently, and it's felt pretty good. Like Pursuit of Knowledge has felt pretty good in this matchup, honestly. So yeah, I mean, if you haven't tried Pursuit of Knowledge, I would. If you can find a way to try and slide it into your sideboard somehow or into your deck, I would try it. So let's see what they do. If they pitch a blue, I'm probably going to hold on to the Cold Snap here. But if they pitch a red, then I'm probably going to play the Cold Snap. Comparing to your list, I'm playing this rounds in place of Pursuits, good against Fies too. Yeah. So this rounds on me is awesome. One of the guys at the event yesterday, me and him and I actually talked about that. He was playing this rounds on me. This rounds on me is a very good card, and I think I don't have any like problems playing this rounds on me. It's just not really something I felt like I needed. Maybe it's just my experience. I've only played about 5 to 7 games against Fi, but I have yet to lose. And it could just be my experience. It could just be who I'm playing against. But they're good players. It's not like they're bad or anything. Like I know they're good players, and I'm still. I don't feel like I need this rounds on me for Fi specifically. Though I believe Pursuits are nice against Fi too. Yeah, 100%. So Fi is. Am I lagging here? What's happening? They pitched a red, so I am going to go ahead and play this. We're going to pitch the Polar Blast here. So we'll see how they react. They take the Frostbite. We draw red Aether Icevein. Now that changes everything. Red Aether Icevein is one of those like powerhouse cards. But yeah, I mean, Pursuits are really good against Fi. Like, Pursuits are really good against a lot of things, honestly. Pursuit of Knowledge is just a very good card in general. They pitch 1, take 2. Okay, so what are our options here? We can go Enlightened Strike, put Aether Icevein on the bottom into Pursuit of Knowledge, which will... I doubt they'll give us Crown of Providence this early in the game, so they'll block with Furnace and a card from their hand. Or we can go pitch Pursuit of Knowledge, reveal Ice Bolt for Aether Icevein, and then Arsenal the Ice Bolt and pass. I mean, I don't know, that doesn't seem bad. I think that is better than us not having an Arsenal here. Plus, I want the pursuits to hit something. And if the pursuits aren't really going to hit anything, then it's not that great. Plus, us being able to second cycle a Pursuit of Knowledge is pretty solid plan here. I like that. They take 5 and discard Vincerikai. So the other option is that I can Arsenal, I can Waning Moon here for 2, and then Arsenal the Enlightened Strike, and just plan on having an attack heavy turn. I think that puts us more on the front foot, and I like that plan better because we're putting. They want to keep their hand here, so we're putting more pressure on. We're gonna put Pursuit up first. So right here, I want to take a moment to highlight one of the biggest things in Flesh and Blood, and it gives me a good transition to talk about something that I just did right there. So I did not block with the Enlightened Strike. I chose to Arsenal the Enlightened Strike afterwards. And I chose to pitch the Ice Bolt to deal 2 points with the Waning Moon. So if I block with the Enlightened Strike, that's worth 3 points of blocking right there. And if I... and arsenaling the Ice Bolt gives me a good card to use against Dromai's cards. Dromai's cards can be killed with Ice Bolt, and so it is very good to have a card like that in your arsenal. So I save 3 life, and I get to arsenal a good card. Now, the other scenario is that I arsenaled the Enlightened Strike to be able to use at a later point in the game, and I pitched the Ice Bolt for 2 points. So I just physically losing out, not only, like mathematically I'm losing out on points, and I'm also losing out on card value and things that I should be trying to accomplish over the course of the game. So it's just like little things like that will win or lose you the game over the course of a game. When you're slowly edging out 1 or 2 points here and there, like that's good for you. But when you're giving up 1 or 2 points here or there, that's bad for you. And if you have enough points in the game where you give up 1 to 2 points, you'll lose the game every time. So a lot of times when you sit and you think to yourself, what could I have done differently? That's something to really think about and to really talk about. And it's something that I don't think enough people do with Flesh and Blood. And so I really try to break that down and say, okay, this would have been just better mathematically, and it gives me a better card in the matchup. So it was a win-win overall, and I made the wrong decision there. Yeah, so we're going to tone back to 35. This version of the deck is honestly the one that scares me the most because Pursuit, like Toma Fyendals are just crazy. Like gaining life, as Iyslander playing this matchup, I feel like I have to fight and scratch for every single point I get over the course of the game. And so, like having them just gain 4 life, like literally just reset. Like it basically just like was almost my Aether Icevein. So we're definitely going to bust this because we want to get Necri off the field anytime we can. So I'm thinking Enlightened Strike for 5 go again, putting Fighting Spirit on the bottom because that still leaves us with 5 busts left in the deck that we have yet to see, and we're pitch stacking one of them because this feels like this will be a longer game. And then we can, we're going to pick Go again on E-Strike. We're going to Coronet Peak them, and then we're going to Arsenal and Icevein. And I think that's the best play. I think I would rather do 5 as opposed to 7 because each card has a value of 3 on average. So if we're taking, 7 is good, but if we do 5 and then we Coronet Peak them, that has an average value of 8. So we're technically gaining a point by doing it this way. And they didn't block, which means they want to keep their hand. So now it makes my play feel that much better in my opinion. Yeah, like strip a card from their hand, and then we're going to arsenal this Aether Icevein. Now, we can either use this on them, or we can use this on one of their things. Whew. So... we spend a bust on one of the Embers. We're going to go upstairs. Like, obviously, we're going to go upstairs because we haven't let anything happen yet. Alright, so they're going to take 2. We're going to bust this. Anything we can get off the field is great here. I'm going to Coronet peek them with the Ice Bolt here. I want to put the Ice Bolt back in the deck because having the Ice Bolt in the deck is more damage than the Aether Hail. The Aether Hail can deal with less things than the Ice Bolt. I know that I have Tunic up, and I have the ability to go Ice Bolt one of the Aether Ashwings and then Tunic into Waning Moon. But I think with where we're at in the game, I'd rather keep the Aether Hail as it is a weaker spell. Okay, so now it's decision time. Is Tumultai the kill an equipment or take cards from your hand, Dragon? Yeah, it's the equipment, Dragon. So we have to respond to whatever we're going to do here. So I like busting. We bust Tumultai here to stop from taking damage. We pitch Hypothermia to Aether Hail and then get in for some damage. And then we play Insidious Chill, pitching Ice Eternal and pass. Hails and Frostings are actually very valuable here for killing Ashwings. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. It took me a moment of playing this matchup to figure that out, but I completely agree with you. So... okay. I'm going to kill an Ashwing. Giving them a Frostbite, I know, prevents them from being able to do anything else here. So I feel very comfortable with that. I'm curious to know what they would kill here, because I don't think it would be... I mean, it might be Tunic. I don't know. So we kill that. Let's see what they hit. They do flip 2 reds. They kill our Stormstriders. That is not surprising. They have nothing left, so we're going to 3 them here and go upstairs. So they only have 1 Ashwing, and we're continuing to pick their hand apart. I feel like I'm in a better spot to Coronet peek them and then arsenal the Insidious Chill. Huh. They chose to pitch Sigil of Solace. Interesting. We also have yet to see a channel Lake Frigid, and that is worth noting. How many busts is that? That's just so many busts that we've seen. 3, 4. We pitched 1, which means there's only 2 left in the deck. Okay. So... so we... so they have 2 resources floating, so like... Yeah, we're gonna go to 31 here, which is not great. This is one of those tough decisions that I'm never really sure how to play it out. So we're gonna go. I know that they have AB4 and it like they can pitch 2 cards and keep and like not like have nothing happen here, like which is fine if that's what they want to do. But this means they only have 1 card in their hand, which means basically when they start to do anything, I can just Insidious Chill and try to shut their turn down. Like unless it's a blue, which is very possible. So we're gonna pitch Blizzard. We're gonna pitch Frost Hex to play Frost Hex and then Arsenal Frosting. Yeah, I think that's the correct play here. So they are building a board presence and it is quite obnoxious, but we're also trying to shut their turn down here with the Frostbites. Like the Frostbite doesn't allow them to attack, so I don't think it's worth 3 damage. I think getting a Frost Hex into play is just better. So, or the other option is, no, I definitely like my play better because the Frosting has the ability to shut down their whole turn. I like the original line better than I did the second one that I came up with on the fly there. So this is an awkward hand. Like it's so funny, but like having Brothers in Arms here would just be strictly better than not. That's a problem. Now, the good news is that we have 2 answers. So it doesn't matter what they take here. We actually have 3 answers to Dominia, but still. Burn them all. Alright, so what are you taking here? You taking my Polar Blast here? Honestly, not a terrible option. I don't entirely think you're wrong if you do take my Polar Blast. Yeah, I'm not sure what they take here. I'm kind of curious to know. They take Scar for a Scar. Yeah, they have 2 floating, so we'd only be dealing 1 damage, so we're saving 3 life this way, as opposed to trying to deal 2 when they already have a bunch of resources floating. So we're gonna go to 27 here. We're gonna kill their attacker here. So it shuts down their turn. They get a Frostbite. They'll pay for it. Like I was like, at least I assume they will. Now the unfortunate part about this and the way this is set up is that I do not have an arsenal. Okay, finding a bust here is really good. Sucks. Like that's two busts have come on 2 Dromai turns on first cycle, which is pretty unfortunate. But I mean, it is what it is. Like we need some things to go right for us. So I'm gonna have to block. We're gonna bust this so that we take nothing. And then they have at least 6 more on the board. Let's make that 9. Which means I can block with Brain Freeze here. So if I block with Brain Freeze, I stay at 27. I take 6, go to 21, and then I E-Strike the Asvalai and draw a card. Like, I'm not a huge fan of any of these plays here, but they're ending their turn on Dust Up. Like, again, this is one of those ones that sucks, but we have to take the Dust Up here. I'd rather have to deal with an Ashwing later than I would have to deal with the Asvalai the rest of the game. Put this on the bottom, draw a card, kill Asvalai. Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. We have yet, that's our first Channel Lake Frigid we've seen all game. Okay. So and see, we've started to lose tempo of the game. So Channel Lake Frigid, like Channel Lake Frigid is a tempo card. Like Channel Lake Frigid is designed to be a tempo card at any and all states of the game. Now that, so if you're playing against Dromai and they're playing Thermais in their list, like it's tough. And by tough, I mean like virtually impossible. Because it, like, Thermai just shuts down so many things. They get a Frostbite. Channel Lake Frigid becomes a thing. We're going to go ahead and use Tunic because if we can't activate abilities or do anything after Thermai's in play. So now the really crappy part is that we don't have an answer for it. So we're going to have to find an answer next turn. Either in the form of an attack or in the form of an arcane spell that we can play during our own turn. And then after that, we can try to set up some Ice Eternal shenanigans and try to make something happen here. They lost 0 life. And then they lose 1 life to the Arcane, to the Frostbite. So we play Amulet of Ice because it has Go again. We activate Coronet Peak with Frosting and then Arsenal the Ice Eternal. We get to keep Channel Lake in play and we get to set up an Ice Eternal. Alright, none of those cards deal with the Thermai. I mean, these cards are very good, and they do give us the ability to keep Channel Lake in play. So we get to pitch. Yeah, they're just setting up as much of a board presence as they can. So play Insidious Chill. The one card we're going to keep in our hand is going to be Channel Lake. Because if we don't find an answer, Channel Lake's going to have to be our answer to things. So, like, Channel Lake is going to have to, like, provide enough disruption for us to have a chance to get back into this game. I'd rather have the Insidious Chill and then the Aether Hail. Okay. Now, this we can work with. We can make them get rid of some cards, and then we can Ice Eternal. Oh, no! It's so bad! It's so bad! Ugh. Man. Womp womp. So what are we doing here? Like, there's just actually nothing here that we're doing. We're going to block 3, and then they're going to come in with an Ashwing here. Like, that's the correct play, because they should be playing around Poppers at this point, too, in the game. So Fuse. We're going to hit a Thermai, because we got to start somewhere. We have to start somewhere. There's the automatic cat feeder in the background. So they discard a card. They discard a card. I gotta keep the Channel Lake because if I don't draw another answer, I'm gonna have to put the Channel Lake into play. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's the situation that we're in. Now, if they kept 2 cards that do give them the ability to put us at less life, that would be good for us. So, block the Frosting, Scar for a Scar. So block with Frosting. They're going to attack us after that. We're going to Scar for Scar Thermai. We're going to Pursuit of Knowledge Mirror Guy. And then we're going to try to go ham. Like, those are our options. Okay. I like it. I mean, I don't like it. The fact that they've seen 2 Thermais. Ooh, interesting. They attacked with Thermai. Oh, Channel Lake's not in play anymore. Yeah, this is going to be a shellacking, but we got to take it. Oh, they attack with Thermai because they know we don't have any poppers. Yeah. So, in my head, I don't know why Channel Lake was still in play, and we had another turn of freedom, but we don't. Man, could you imagine if I had done all that just to debate that guy into doing that? Okay. So... Thermai. 4 go again. And we're going to kill Mirror Guy. And we're going to get a 5th Intellect. And honestly, 5th Intellect on an Ice Eternal turns where you want to be at. Should I Tunic and Waning Moon here? No, I didn't play an on-attack. What am I doing? So I can pitch Pursuit, Cold Snap, reveal Amulet of Ice. Is this a joke? Jeez. All right. So we're going to pitch... We're going to pitch Pursuit of Knowledge, Blizzard Cold Snap, Reveal Amulet of Ice for 4. So we'll leave 1 floating so we can also tune it, so we can also Waning Moon them, and we'll get to deal some damage this way. They'll also have to discard or pay. They'll activate Furnaces in response. And then I get to Enlightened Strike their Thermai, putting Amulet of Ice on the bottom to grant draw a card. Okay. Alright. So it's weird because Insidious Chill normally is better because there's more value because you get 3 triggers of it as opposed to Amulet of Ice you get to pick. But Amulet of Ice would actually be better in this spot because I would not choose to trigger Insidious Chill here if I was able to. But I want to deal the arcane damage. I mean, Sigil of Solace is the same thing here. So, I mean, that's fair. So, they get 4 Frostbites. They take 4. They can't do anything. They're losing 1 life from that stuff. What's happening? Why did I not get an option to tune it? I must have clicked through the window without realizing. Gonna be honest, like that, they should be at 14. So if we get to a point to where we could have killed them with 3 more points, then we know that me misclicking kind of did the game for us there. We're gonna pick draw a card, and we're gonna kill Thermai. Wow, drawing Hypothermia there is Broken. Talk about having a chance. Scar for a Scar into Icevein. And we have Channel Lake here. Thermai was in play. Thermai was in play. You're correct. Good call. Thank you. One of those things that I was not thinking about. So I am going to have to take 6 here. Because I need all of my cards to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish here. You get a Frostbite. So next 3 Draconic cards you play. Because we're going to take all the cards out of their hand. With the Insidious Chills. The Amulet's got to be coming back around soon. I pitched one earlier in the game, so... Yep. We go to 6. I don't like being down 11, but I think giving myself a shot here to have a chance to win the game. All right, so we're going to Scar for Scar Dromai. We got to get that off the field. Like, just continuing to leave that on the field is just going to cause us nothing but problems. We're going to pitch, reveal Channel Lake, and we're going to go upstairs with this. Like, this is, like, we're going to strip 2 cards out of their hand, at least. And we're going to try and deal some damage here, because we got to stay in the game. I don't think this is where we want to crack our Amulet of Ice, but... And now we got 4 Arcane coming at him. Yeah, I don't think this is it. I think we want to save it for another turn. Drawing up. Okay, so here's another example of decision points and taking damage versus when to serve damage and how to try and keep the board state controlled. Now I made a choice here that made me be down. I had a deficit of 11 points basically, and then it allowed me to kill their Dromai, strip their hand, and then go upstairs for some arcane damage. Now I got lucky and drew a popper on the back end to deal with the Yindarai, but that's neither here nor there. So I have 4 cards, and I have a Hypothermia in Arsenal. So I know that they're going to get 2 attacks because of the Dromai, unless they make a mistake and they lead on something else. Now, if that's the case, even better. So my opponent attacks with Dromai. I play Hypothermia. I don't block, and I take 3, and then I take 3 off the Yindarai. So my hand was Channel Lake Frigid, Cold Snap, Yellow Aether Icevein, and a Scar for Scar. So I'm at less life. Scar for Scar allows me to kill Dromai. Then I'm able to go upstairs, strip their hand, and arsenal a Channel Lake Frigid. Keeping the Channel Lake Frigid is so important to me here because Channel Lake Frigid is a swing card. If you are down and you've lost the tempo, Channel Lake Frigid gives you the potential to take the tempo back during a game, and that's nothing to scoff at. If you've lost tempo, there are very few cards in this game that give you the ability to take tempo back. Iyslander has more of them than any other deck I've ever seen. But, so I could have thrown my Scar for a Scar and blocked 2 at the Dromai or the Yindarai, and it would have given me the ability to soak up damage. I would have taken 2 less damage that way, and then I still could have played my Yellow Aether Icevein, stripped their hand, and kept my Channel Lake Frigid in Arsenal. But instead, I chose to keep the Scar for a Scar because it allows me to... I'm taking 3 to get rid of a Dromai permanently, and then after that, I'm able to continue my play and start to put enough pressure on. Now, like, I think that was the correct play. Now, I feel like sometimes you have to lose tempo and lose life to be able to gain tempo back. And that's one of the hardest, most patient things to learn to do in the game. And to the people who figure that out, they start winning a lot more. So I personally think I made a good decision there. If you disagree, I'd love to hear in the comments below about why you disagree. Pauper here is really good. All right, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Is that seriously? Let's see. So there's 3 wounded bulls, 3 red fighting spirits, and a yellow one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so there's one more left in the deck. Interesting. Would not have saw that coming. We're going to pitch Polar Blast to Pursuit of Knowledge, one of these. Get this off the field. And then we're going to use Channel Lake to try and shut their turn down here with more cards in our hand. So there's our last Pauper. I'm going to keep Ice Bolts and a Icevein to be able to play during my turn, and then Arsenal and Ice Bolt. And that way we'll be able to keep Channel Lake around. It's also got to be Ice Eternals coming back up. So he played Mirror Guy. So to attack with Mirror Guy, you have to spin 2 to attack with it, which is fine. They're going to play Caloria. Which, you know, honestly, they have nothing left here. Man, I hate Defense Fighting Spirit just to not pop a card here. That feels so bad to me. But they're not going to attack with anything else, which means there's nothing else that we're going to hit. So am I going to waste my last Pauper to stop them from drawing a card to Arsenal or to prevent AB with? Or am I going to... Oh... Yeah, it's terrible, but I think I have to. I'm not a fan. Not a fan of this play. Gonna be honest, I don't know what else our turn looks like, though, if we're not doing this. So they go to 14 here. So we're at least making some headway. So am I hitting Caloria here, or am I going upstairs after them, force them to pitch a blue, and then... No, I have Ice Bolt for the Caloria. So I'm definitely going upstairs, because this is definitely going to be a crack and Amulet of Ice turn. Because the fewer cards they have, the better for me. We'll kill Caloria with the bolt. Yeah. I was like, it took me like an extra second to realize it, but yeah, absolutely. So they're pitching 1 to do that, to play Sand Cover. And then, you know what? They have 2 cards in hand. Channel, like doing this almost guarantees us some damage this way. That checks Channel. I like these Ice Eternals this late in the game. So we're gonna kill their attacker, deal them a damage, pitch Ice Eternal to play Frost Hex, and then Arsenal Hypothermia. Because we're at the point in the game where we have to try and combo kill them. I think this is where we're at. I think we're stuck saying we're gonna combo kill them. So the other option is to play Ice Eternal, give them 3 Frostbites, and keep my Channel Lake Frigid around. So I basically shut down their turn. Well, I say shut down their turn. They've pitched a lot of yellows and a lot of blues, so I think Hypothermia has a higher chance of being effective and them not having Channel Lake Frigid. But we're setting up to have Ice Eternal 5 hands from now. There's the 3rd Frost Hex. If we can get Amulet and that into play, I honestly think we're like in the best spot possible. They've played a Sigil of Solace already. They played any more? They just played the 1. Yeah, they just played 1 Tome and 1 Sigil, so they're definitely left in the deck. Hang on one second, guys. Somebody just knocked on my door. Okay. Alright, so how do I have my headset on? Because it does not feel right now. Let's see. So Mirror Guy's coming in. They think it has go again. We throw the Frost Hex. So we block with Polar Blast, pitch Blizzard to play Frost Hex, and then Arsenal Amulet of Ice. It seems fine. We've already played our other Hypothermia, so I'm pretty sure we did anyway. Yeah. It's like, so this is definitely our last shut their turn down card. Take that back. Is there one more Channel Lake Frigid in the deck? One. There is one more Channel Lake Frigid in the deck, and I'm honestly wondering if it's in the next hand, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. So we're going to play Frost Hex, pitching Blizzard, and then we are going to Arsenal this. Now, they don't know that this isn't like our last Channel Lake or something. Unfortunately, it's not. So I'm going to keep this Aether Hail here. Part of me thinks I might should have waited. I should have held the Amulet of Ice a little bit longer just to try and make them wonder what we had. We'll block 3. We'll block 2. We're going to take the Ash Wings here. They put us to 4. We're going to make them wonder. We honestly might get away without having to block with the Insidious Chill. No, they're just going to push it. All right. I can't blame them. I would. This late in the game, I would strip all the cards out of my opponent's hand that I could. Oh, wow. It's 2 for 6 here, huh? Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't think there's a way out of this one. There is. I don't know what it looks like because we don't have Storm Striders at all. Well, that'll kill us. Just 2 Arcane over the top that we can do nothing about. Yeah, that'll do it. Yep. I mean, so I know that like the life totals, Amulet is also representing 3 damage. Oh yeah, absolutely. So like the life totals may not have been very close there. Like it may have been 13 to nothing at the end of the game, but that was definitely not a far, like that game was not far off. Okay, so all in all, I ended up losing. It's not really surprising. It's a hard matchup and it's tough. The game ended up being 13 to nothing. Now the score is not very representative of how I feel the game went because 13 points is a lot to be down. But I feel like considering I had to play through 3 Thermais and I had to do everything else that I could to just try and stay alive there, I feel like I was in a decent spot. Now, towards the end of the game, I pitch stacked an Ice Eternal to be able to put it on the bottom, and I knew at that point I needed to be able to survive 5 more turns. So there's 1 more Channel Lake Frigid in the deck at that point, and I needed to be able to survive 5 more turns. Now, with that in mind, you know, there was no more Hypothermias in the deck. There was a Blizzard, and there was a Channel Lake Frigid. So those are really my 2 disruption spells that can try to keep me in the game. You know, so I'm out of poppers, I'm out of everything, so it's a little bit of a steep clock, but I made a small miscalculation where I thought I had Channel Lake Frigid out, and I just didn't. I don't know what was going through my head, I don't know what I was thinking, but I just forgot that I didn't have Channel Lake Frigid, and I think I wasn't preparing to have to block as much as I did, and so I think that put me in a bad spot. Now, did that change the course of the game? No, but it completely changed my headspace and what I was thinking about at that time. And I do think that probably caused me to play a little bit worse without me realizing it at the time and place. So, anyway, overall, Iyslander is not favored in the Dromai. I was talking during the stream, like during the video, you hear me talking that, you know, at some point, like I've played like 30 to 35 games into Dromai's Iyslander, and I've won 3. Yeah, so with my win, with one of my win, it's 4 now. I've won 4 games in like 35 games, 30 to 40 games, somewhere in there. That's not a good win rate. I mean, that's like 1 in 10 for the most part. You know, so you're about a 90-10 matchup or a 10-90 matchup with Iyslander into Dromai, which is not good and not something to look forward to during ProQuest season. I'm trying everything I can right now to see if I can make some things work, to see if I can make it better. But anyway, Iyslander's a ton of fun. If you haven't picked up on it, you should at least play, you know, 20 to 30 games on the deck just so you can figure out how it works and be prepared for it come ProQuest season. But anyway, if there's comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming, guys.